Let's review the HiFiMan HE400i. Who is it for? How exactly will it change your life? All these answers and more can be had for the low price of around $350. Just pay shipping and handling. What's good, Basshead, and welcome aboard. Stuart Charles here, HomeStudioBasics.com, helping you make sound decisions leading to a beautiful audio experience that will make you fall in love with music, not gear, all over again. So, who is the HiFiMan HE400i for? I firmly believe that this headphone is for folks who want to take a step up from the entry-level category into mid-fi. Just be advised that there's no turning back. You may or may not have heard of an HD6XX, but that's another recommendation in this category as well. For an in-depth comparison to the HD600, I'll leave a link below. The 400i represents somewhat of a micro upgrade from the 6XX due to its planar nature and ability to produce better instrument timbre and soundstage, but you can't go wrong with either. I'll link you an article that I did below on planars as well. Focus! How exactly will it change your life? The planar magnetic 400i represents what music sounds like in its most raw, visceral form. If an HD600 made you want to rediscover all of your old favorites, the 400i takes that concept and magnifies it, both literally and figuratively. With a good recording and a good amp and DAC, you'll soar to new heights like Lebowski. I still remember vividly the moment I put on a 400i with a Bryson BHA-1 and fired up over the hills and far away. It's a moment I will never forget as long as I live. Day one homies are probably sick to death of hearing about the experience, but it's important in the sense that it will completely change your perspective of music, again as it did mine. Remember when we discussed the 7506 and how it will change your life and your perspective of music if you're brand spanking new to audio? Well, the 400i is like the girlfriend after the girlfriend that you thought was the one. Yeah, you keep going down that rabbit hole, honky. Eventually one will be good enough. Yo dog, I heard you like having a cool girlfriend, so we made a girlfriend that you can have after the future girlfriend you'll have after you get sick of the girlfriend that you already have now. You feel me, dawg? Nah, everything about the experience was sublime, from the way the opening guitar sounded, to the way the drums and bass came in, to the intimacy of Plant's voice, to the way that the band played together as a unit and everything in between. Bonham's drum hits sounded so saturated and rich, it's hard to describe. You could hear each individual note on Jones's bass, and of course there's Page. Enough said. It was as if everything was rolling so effortlessly and gracefully without a single inkling that the song was trying too hard to portray everything correctly. Yeah, that's right, you heard me correctly. It was as natural can be, while also having just the right amount of impact. It was as if I got a glimpse into the soul of the artist, why they were bandmates, what made them tick, as well as just how proficient they were with their instruments. I finally understood why they were so close and why they worked so well together. It's been said that after John Bonham died in 1980, the band refused to play together anymore because it just wouldn't be the same. Because he was such an integral part of the group, it wouldn't be right. I'm paraphrasing. They basically chose to disband out of respect rather than replace him. I quote, "We wish it to be known that the loss of our dear friend and the deep respect we have for his family, together with the sense of undivided harmony felt by ourselves and our manager, have led us to decide that we cannot continue as we were." After listening to Over the Hills with the 400i and the Bryson, I completely understood why they made that decision. It honestly made me want to shed a tear. That's how good it sounded. The timbre of the instruments, the impact of the bass, the delicate strumming of the guitar, and the realistic nature of the drums. It was all just too much for me. I was overwhelmed beyond anything you could possibly imagine. It's something that you just know when you hear. A feeling, a knowing, a sense of, wow, I really get it now. This is truly how the artist intended for the song to sound. It was more open, more spacious, and more live sounding, etc., etc. It almost felt like you could taste the instruments or reach out and touch them. Keep in mind of a couple of things. I had heard the song hundreds of times through the years before that moment. I even learned how to play it on guitar back in high school in 2003. I begged my best friend Dennis at the time to teach me how, and he did. I think he regretted that decision because after I learned it, I wouldn't stop playing it at all, like, ever. Oh my god, can you stop playing that stupid effing song? I'm exaggerating, but my friend Dennis's reaction was pretty funny. Because the intro takes quite a bit of practice to get down, It seemed like that's all I would play over and over and over. I love Led Zeppelin. It's hilarious to think about in hindsight. You want another one? Just say the word. Number 2, I was listening to a high quality FLAC. Source quality is of the utmost importance, but don't think you have to go effing batshit crazy with DSD or even ultra high PCM. That crap really doesn't matter. The 400i is absolutely worth a purchase, but times have changed a little bit. The older production run was flawless until they started outsourcing cheaper materials for the headband yokes. The model that I demoed at Audio Advice some years back likely went through hundreds of thousands of hands and still came out on top every time. It was built incredibly well and had the rotating cups that many people miss in the updated versions. The second production run of 400i's fell apart in no time at all, and it looked like Hi-Fi Man was dead in the water.
You guys are dead in the water.
Audio Advice even dropped them from their line, but they made a comeback with the Deva in 2020 and things seem to be looking up. The 2020 revision 400i utilizes the same incredible build as the updated Deva, and by all accounts that I've read, it sounds the same. This is mostly a good thing, but the treble may still have a little bit too much bite. The Deva has a similar problem, but it's not a deal breaker. It's just a little bit annoying at times. I've demoed the entire line including the 400S, the 400i, the 4XX, the Sundara, and the Deva. I feel confident in recommending a 2020 revision because it mimics the now extremely robust appearance of the Deva, and I believe that the connection issues have fully been rectified. I've been listening to the Deva since Hi-Fi Man sent it to me back in June of 2020, and I haven't had a single issue with the sound cutting out, build issues with the headband, adjustment blocks, etc. It's incredibly well built and sounds fantastic with pretty much any genre of music: rock, metal, hip-hop, R&B, indie, pop, etc. The fact that Hi-Fi Man actually used the criticism to improve their product line is refreshing to say the least. The Deva also happens to be just about the most comfortable headphone that I've ever worn, even more so than the original 400S, 400i, and Sundara. So you can look forward to that with the 2020 400i revision as well. But will you need an amp? Absolutely. The 400i and Hi-Fi Man headphones in general are well known for being very inefficient. They need quite a bit of power from an amp to reach an acceptable volume level. Something like the FiiO K5 Pro will be a great choice. I'll leave links down below. So what's the final word? The Deva is a great headphone, but why not save some money and go with the 2020 revision 400i? They're basically giving them away at their current price. I'll leave links down below for all this stuff. The Deva does represent a better value if you're wanting a headphone that comes with a Bluetooth receiver which doubles as an amp DAC as well. You can also use the Deva wired as it comes with a robust 3.5mm detachable cable. Great for gaming too. While you're at it, snag one of my Kickback and Relax Homie t-shirts so you can listen in style. With that, are you ready to venture further down the rabbit hole? Don't miss out on this next one. It's a fan favorite amongst patrons. Click here to my right and let's dive in.